Trump swears vengeance against America and the entire world. Why is this? Because he lost. He lost the election. He lost the election. And Shalom, this is your Hebrew Israelite brother, Mashaba, here in the city of Detroit. I'm bringing to you an understanding, another video concerning being a watchman here and seeing what's going on in the world. Now that Trump has lost the election, okay, they announced it just last night. So now what's next for Trump? What else can Trump do? He can't go back to doing you're fired TV shows, on cable, something else. He can't go back doing that. He can't go back to doing what? In the limelight, without it being thrown in his face, all the different things concerning him. And he used to be the world leader. Now what? Well, Trump is not going to go for that. Trump is not going to go out, on a vote. Of course, he's going to start a war. Any and every president that did not want to go out of office after his 4 years was up, he would start a war. So he's already started a war by having the second of command killed in Iran. Okay. And so now, that means Iran got to make a strike, a military terroristic attack on America because of what Trump did to kill their second in command. And so, and Trump has 75 days left for him to get started on the vaccine as well, issuing out forced vaccinations using the martial law, medical vaccine police. And so, that's going to lead to a lot of violence because they're doing it only inside the black communities. Why? Because Black Lives Matter. Really? Okay, so, but the whites are not taking it. The whites are not taking the vaccine. And so, here we go, a powder keg of mess, And then you get a war started. And then after you get the war started, after the vaccines, then get do a terrorist attack, a domestic terrorist attack, plus the sleeper cells of the militia groups. They do some domestic terrorist attacks because, they were mainly supporters of Trump. And so what are they going to do? Okay. And then Iran do a terrorist attack. Okay. That knocks out. Remember, Trump said after November 4th, you're not going to hear anything about coronavirus. The only way to do that, you got to come with something that's more devastating in the news. A war with Iran would be more devastating, and an actual terrorist attack here on American soil where at least 10,000 or more people are killed. Maybe 20, 30,000 are killed. Then enact the draft to take a lot of the young men from the ages of 18 on to 32, take them off the streets. And in California, the draft age went lowered down to 14. So 14, 15, 16, 17 year olds taken off the streets and placed on the battlefield. The Bible tells us that when these mighty young men of war taken away from us, taken to war, when you see them loaded up on the big tour buses that they're going to have on the main streets, going throughout the neighborhoods, the martial law police going throughout the neighborhoods, gathering up the young men, bringing them out to the main streets and placing them on these tour buses, taking them to a boot camp. When they go, when we see them leave, they will not be coming back. They will not be coming back. They're going to be killed. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 25. And 2nd Ezra chapter 16, start at verse 33. Read on through. And so they're going to be killed. They're not coming back. And so they're going to give them a 6 to 8 week boot camp training. And then put them out on the battlefield. Boot camp's supposed to be 13 weeks at least. But they're going to get it 6 to 8 weeks. Let's see what's next on the agenda for what's about to happen with Joe Biden, and his plan is to force everybody to wear a mask, mandatory. He's going to have all the governors to have everybody to wear a mask, force everybody to wear a mask. So is Joe Biden going to get an opportunity and chance to be even sworn in? Okay. Is he even going to be sworn in? And let's see. Let's see. Trying to get this here to play.
Eastern. President Trump says he'll fight the outcome, claiming falsely that he wore legal challenges. Hallie Jackson is at the White House with that.
President Trump was not at the White House when he learned he'd lost it. He was golfing in Virginia, driven home past his critics cheering. Tonight, it is over for him, although he doesn't want it to be. Defiant in defeat, insisting he'll fight the results in court starting Monday. But since there's no evidence of widespread fraud in this election,
that is unheard of. It's illegal. It's unconstitutional.
Those challenges seem likely to fail. Advisors appearing to push a PR case more than a legal one. Now, the president's campaign manager wants allies to stay at the ready in case they're needed at protests. But the blame game is beginning, with multiple sources telling NBC News of finger-pointing. Many aides already looking for their next jobs. The president himself insisting earlier, "I won the election by a lot." He did not win at all, as he rejects the reality he's feared.
If I lose to him, I don't know what I'm going to do. I will never speak to you again. Winning is easy. Losing is never easy. Not for me, it's not.
The president's still in charge for the next 75 days, a period set to be dominated by the growing pandemic that's infected more than 9 million people, including now his own chief of staff, Mark Meadows, and 4 other White House and campaign aides, according to sources familiar with the diagnoses. It's unlikely President Trump will call President-elect Biden soon or invite him to the White House, as is tradition. He becomes the first incumbent to lose office in nearly 3 decades after a tenure in which he promised unity but fanned flames of division and governed by grievance, often erratically. He's been investigated, impeached, embattled, and adored by his base, with 70 million Americans voting for him, stamping the Trump brand on a reshaped Republican Party, now grappling with what its future holds.
Hallie, what else could the transition hold?
Well, it's possible that the president, who's now a lame duck, could shake up staff, Lester, perhaps firing top officials. Back to you.
To be the next president of the United States. Celebrations erupt across the country, from the White House to both coasts. After days of counting, Pennsylvania puts him over the top. Joe Biden now set to be the 46th president of the United States and planning to speak tonight in a primetime address. Kamala Harris makes history, the first woman ever to become vice president-elect.
We did it, Joe. You're going to be the next president of the United States.
The emotional reaction from women of color across the country. President Trump defiant, with no plans to concede. On the golf course when the call was made, he now says the election is far from over. Another outbreak inside the White House. The president's chief of staff tests positive for COVID as the country sees another day of record cases. Texas hitting 1 million. The major city now back into lockdown. A startling new prediction from the CDC and the president-elect's plans to fight the virus. Tonight, the celebrations and the challenges before us as a new presidency is set to begin. This is NBC Nightly News. Decision 2020. Here is Lester Holt.
So there you have it. There's a lot that's going to transpire. There's a lot that's going to happen. Trump, he's going to do some things that's going to cause a lot of people a lot of misery, a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, because he's not going to just walk out of office and just hand it over to Joe Biden. No, he's going to make a mess and a mockery first and start a war first. Remember, they still got this digital currency. Okay, this digital currency from the central bank, new digital currency, digital wallet from the federal government. All that's coming too. They're going to collapse the American dollar and start everything back up on the digital system. And just remember also there's going to be a shutdown, a second wave shutdown, where even the grocery stores, are going to be closed this time, and banks and ATM machines, and maybe and also martial law, police on the streets, martial law declared. Why? Because once you make it mandatory that everyone must stay in, and all the grocery stores close down, then what are the people going to eat? Not everyone was able to stock up any food, any provisions, anything. And so the people are going to be hungry. They got to come out. They're going to come outside their homes. And with the grocery stores and convenience stores and gas stations closed, well, they're going to bust into these places in the night. They're going to bust in. So that's what's going to make it where martial law police are going to be needed, because the local police, the city and state police, they're going to be overrun. And so, which will, make it where martial law is going to need to be declared. You see, and so this is going to cause a lot of disruption all over. There are a lot of things that are about to transpire that this modern day American society has not been privy to, has not seen, and a level of violence too, because the people are going to be clashing with the police, and they're going to stop clashing with just throwing bottles and bricks and stuff. They're going to actually start being shootouts between the people and the police, between the people and law enforcement, which will make it where martial law is going to be declared. So there's no way around it. And so all these things are going to happen. All these things are about to happen. Our thing is to stay steadfast in the word, maintaining the understanding and the balance of spiritual and the physical. Understanding the balance, because Yahweh is about balance. And so we maintain our understanding of spiritually storing up this truth and knowledge in our cistern. And also make sure you store up some extra few canned goods in your pantry. Okay? Yahweh's not going to be angry with you, but make there a balance. Make there a balance. Okay? Remember, the children of this world are wiser than the children of light. We are the children of light. The children of this world is the Edomites, the heathens. And you need to understand, if our people would have the understanding to see the soldiers that gathered outside of the gates. When you see the soldiers gathered outside the gates, you see the soldiers gathered around the about. Automatically that tells you that they're going to close in. So shouldn't you prepare? They're going to choke out all the food, water. Shouldn't you prepare? Store up spiritual food in your cistern. That's this truth and this knowledge. Remember, Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord, the Mashiach Yahweh is his treasure. You understand? So this is your Hebrew Israelite brother, Mashaba, here in the city of Detroit. And I just want to bring you to this video to help